What do you want? And more importantly, what do you need? At its core, negotiation is not about demands or ultimatums. It is about understanding the underlying interests of the parties involved. According to Katie Shunk in her 2025 Harvard Law School program on negotiation blog, the ideal negotiation outcome is not one where a single party wins, but one in which all sides involved achieve a meaningful gain, a true win win scenario. Whether you're negotiating what time your teenage daughter needs to come home, planning the best vacation with your spouse, or securing the most strategic deal for the company's expansion into Germany, you're already practicing the art of negotiation. In each case, the objective is the same: to reach an outcome that balances interests, preserves relationships, and allows everyone involved to move forward with confidence. When negotiation is practiced this way, it stops being a battle and becomes a leadership skill, one that creates clarity, reduces conflict, and allows everyone to sleep better at night. Good day, everyone. Today, we are going to take a focused look at the act of negotiation, not as a transactional exercise, but as a strategic leadership capability that shapes outcomes, relationships, and long term success. I remember when the proposal for Technet Solutions to expand into Germany first hit the boardroom table. On the surface, it looked like a straightforward financial decision. But as we dug deeper, it became a high stakes negotiation about our organizational identity. Were we simply pursuing a new revenue stream, or were we deliberately building a legacy of global resilience? As executive leaders, we do not merely negotiate prices or contracts. We negotiate the future of organizational culture, the rigor of our standards, and the integrity of our global infrastructure. As negotiation scholars Anna Movis and Lawrence Susskind argue in their 2009 work, high-stake organizations are not accidental. They are deliberately built to win. The single biggest mistake I see executives make is negotiating over positions. A position is a demand. I want this specific budget, or we must open the office in Berlin by June. However, according to Roger Fisher, William Horry, and Bruce Payton in their seminal 2011 work, getting to yes, the real power in negotiation lies beneath the surface at the level of interest. Think of the iceberg. The tip, the visible part represents positions, but the massive structure beneath the underlying represents interests, the fears, the needs, motivations, and constraints shaping stakeholder behavior. In TechNet's Germany expansion, the stated position was to establish a local headquarters. The underlying interests, however, was digital sovereignty, earning the trust of Germany's Federal Office for Information Security and aligning with national security expectations. When executives understand the why behind the other party's what, negotiation shifts from scarcity to value creation. This is the essence of integrative negotiation, not defeating the party across the table, but jointly creating value that did not exist before the conversation began. At the executive level, negotiation success is measured not by concessions extracted, but by solutions that satisfy both strategic and institutional interests. True mastery in negotiation requires a repeatable framework, not just instinct. At TechNet, negotiation is treated as a structured multi-phase process, beginning with preparation, followed by information exchange, and culminating in agreement. Central to this framework is the concept of the best alternative to a negotiated agreement, or BATNA, first articulated by Fisher, Horry, and Payton in their negotiation research. An executive who enters negotiations without a clear BATNA is not negotiating, they are pleading. Before presenting the Germany expansion proposal to the board, I knew exactly what our alternative path looked like. The clarity did not make me aggressive, it made me grounded. It allowed me to remain focused on strategic objectives rather than emotional pressure. Negotiation research consistently shows that preparation determines outcomes. According to Anne Graves Kozina's 2014 study on managerial roles in negotiation, the executive's responsibility is to bridge technical expertise with strategic intent. This is where management ends and leadership begins. Traditional negotiation models are often transactional, focused on exchange and equivalence. However, leadership scholars such as Dima Kanin argue in their 2007 research that executive effectiveness increasingly depends on transformational influence rather than transactional control. Every internal negotiation shapes employee experience. According to research by Kojavic, Skush, and Jonah in 2013, leadership behaviors directly influence psychological needs, work engagement, and long term performance. Winning a contract at the cost of employee burnout is not a victory, it is deferred organizational failure. At the executive level, negotiation becomes an exercise in capacity building. As capacity scholars Lamert Johnson and Fior explain in their 2015 work, resilient organizations are those that negotiate space for learning, adaptation, and innovation. Today, Germany stands as the most resilient hub in Technet's EMEA operations. That outcome was not achieved through aggressive bargaining or positional dominance. It emerged because we negotiated a shared vision, one that regulators, employees, and executive leadership all felt ownership over. Every negotiation we enter, whether with a partner, a board, or a high stake professional recruit, it is defining leadership moment. It is not a battle to be won, but a future to be shaped. Do not walk into negotiations armed with only demands. Walk in with curiosity, preparation, and clarity about what truly matters. Be firm on your non negotiables, but open in your listening. The most powerful phrase an executive can use is not "I disagree," but "help me understand your perspective so we can move forward together." Finally, when you change the way you negotiate, you change the way you lead. Thank you all for the opportunity to share.